Now, let's also very quickly take a look at something else that's happening that I mentioned in passing, which is that this city is now under attack in an event known as the Siege of Neverwinter. You can see this here. And this is an event where the Cult of the Dragon attacks Neverwinter. It began shortly after they released the campaign in Neverwinter for the Cult of the Dragon storyline, the Tyranny of Dragons storyline. And in it, we see that we've got various defenses and tents set up, and supplies and wounded being treated, and there are beams and other indications of the attack. We can see some areas that are under fire from siege weaponry. And when we first begin this, we can come here and speak to our siege defense coordinator, get the initial quest. They will tell us about the siege.
The dragon has amassed an army to lay siege upon the city of Neverwinter. They've reached one of the outer walls and are now trying to push into the city itself.
And then we can get various awards, and if you have done this before, you can trade in some of your older currency here with this quartermaster. Both new and old rewards can be found here. So there's reasons to do it in terms of just the game itself, but we care primarily about the lore. So let's go take a quick look. Well, I'll also mention that in the past I've talked about our stronghold, which is where if you join together into a guild, you can visit this area. There is a quest there. It's currently bugged, but I assume it'll be fixed soon, where you recruit some folks. Worth doing if you're in a guild. And then we can go to the siege battlefield itself. And so the idea is Cult of the Dragon is attacking the city of Neverwinter. They have brought both large masses of troops, and they have brought dragons. And that's some of the most fun that you can have here. So each day you'll get two quests. Your first quest, and then the second one called Breaking the Siege. I've already done the first quest. You can only, on one character, complete the first quest. The first character to complete it will gain that currency. And that currency goes towards the better reward. So if you're playing this game for those reasons, make sure that you choose the same character every day to do that part of it. I'm not super in love with how this works, but that's the way it is. And then every other character can do or not do as you wish these pieces. General Sabine can give you some information on what's happening. Cult of Dragon caught us off guard, and they've attacked. And I need you to go there and basically slow everything down and take act. So what we do is pull up our map. We can see the shape of the battlefield. This map is reused from the older event and also some other quests. And currently on my map, we don't have any interactions, but we can take a quick look at what it looks like here. This initial area is really just dressing area. There shouldn't be any fighting that takes place in this zone. And then there's a little secret tunnel you can take to get to the medical camp over here. And it looks like we now have a dragon up, so we can go do that in a second. So in this camp, they're also treating the wounded in this forward camp. And the main events tend to happen around here, this area here. Sometimes some catapults get set up back here you can take down. And then there can be dragons in both areas. We can see here, Cult Assault just started. So let's do this Cult Assault, and then we'll go and take down the dragon. Usually the dragon takes longer, so I think it won't be finished by the time we do here. So here we're protecting the camp. Looks like someone might be doing that side, so I'll stick to this side. Keep an eye on it. So if the bad guys get into this area, if the cult gets in, they will attack our wounded. And so there is a number of wounded that can be lost, and then you'll fail the event because they'll be hurt. When we do these events, you'll see I'll get vouchers that come up. Those are things you can turn into your stronghold, which is really great because those are important currency for helping your stronghold grow. You also find some things that are from the Well of Dragons currency and Well of Dragons campaign. So lore-wise, these are the old original forces that have attacked from the Cult of Dragon. They're not the sort of new revised versions, which is fine. I kind of like these better. So we've got big iron golems that are themed with different draconic energies. So they represent either red dragons or green dragons. They breathe gas or breathe fire, things like that. We've got the different types of fighters, like the blue dragon wing, which will use lightning. And we have this black dragon claw that can grow in size. sort of infuse themselves and kind of drip acid in their blows. Lots of drakes. And really all that's happening, this is just one giant battle fest. So, I guess they did take down that dragon. We'll find another dragon to fight. So it's just, there's not a whole lot of lore here other than the Cult of the Dragon attacking Neverwinter, as it's wont to do. There's a tracker here of how many cultists, and then the cult general will show up. So we'll do this, and we'll jump into a quick dragon fight, and then we'll call the stream there. I'm just checking behind me every now and then to make sure that there aren't places, any enemies slipping by. Both of these areas are attacked from either side, so you need some people on each side to take it out. Take the troops out and prevent them from getting to the wounded. And here is the assault leader, our big guy here. Got him, so all the other enemies vanish. Ooh, that's one we got an ancient curio. You can get various rewards when you do these. Some of them are useful, some of them you can sell, some of them you can't do a whole lot with. We can otherwise run around just taking down enemies to fight them, just to get vouchers, basically. They're doing the quest of the day requires to do a certain number of encounters of each type, both small and large. The large ones are the dragons. And so we'll just see whether a dragon comes up in one of these locations. This is another small encounter called Cult Invasion, where they are pressing on the front lines, though it can bug. If you get it there early enough, it'll work. Apparently if they get too far forward before anybody acts, then it will bug and kind of becomes endless. Like, no matter how many troops you defeat, the leader never shows up. I assume they will fix that before too long. I do really like the way that they depict these kind of legions of troops coming in, wave after wave of them. It's pretty neat. I think that's really well done. In most of these cases, they'll tend to come from sort of two different sides, and so you can choose one side, or you can try to run back and forth between the different parts of the battlefield. So here's the leader again. So in this case, it did not bug, and we can focus on that leader. Completed another heroic encounter. Can we get ourselves... There's the catapult, so we can go take a quick look at that one. So we go past this big siege tower and this burning tree. Nicely done visuals. And here we'll see these catapults. So the idea is to take those catapults out because they're being set up to attack the city. And troops will show up to defend them. And depending on kind of how you, your character class and what you do, you can kind of, have these different groups will show up and you can use different skills to take them out, either getting close or be from far to fight them. Once you get to the last catapult, the event will end successfully. When you do that, all of the normal troops disappear, so you can really focus on them. Any other troops that just happen to be brought in by the fight will still be there. I don't think we've done counterattack before, so I'll just go join it while I wait for a dragon to show up. So in counterattack, the idea is we are taking the attack to the Cult of the Dragon and pressing forward. So the different events kind of do a story, which is sort of nice. So you have them attacking us and we repel them. You have them attacking our camp. You have us doing the counterattack against the Cult of the Dragon, and that takes place in two different parts. Sort of, you see a theme here where there's two attack fronts, which is kind of nice. Divides up the players, keeps, you know, if you find that one player is dominating, making things, you know, like you never get a shot in, you can switch over to the other side. So there's this side here, where the enemy approaches, even though we're supposed to be attacking. I think the idea is supposed to be that they're repelling us, reacting to our attack that we're doing. This side can get a little, well, they can both get overwhelming if there aren't too many players participating. One benefit of this side is that they tend to drop more vouchers. I don't know why that is. Honestly, this event should drop more vouchers, not fewer. But in some years it's dropped a ton. Again, vouchers are important for people who are parts of guilds. And so it'd be really nice if that happened more often. But yeah, you can get a few more by coming to this side of it versus the other side. But if you want to see the finale, then you can switch over to the other side, which is what we'll do once we finish here. A couple of these guys hit probably harder than they should for their level. Force me to run around. So there's 15. You can see there's a tracker on the side that tells you how many are left. So I'm going to take down a couple more, and then I'm going to have to switch to the other side, which I probably should go ahead and do. So if I run over this way, try to get to the exciting conclusion here, and then you get the cult general. So it's just like the other, you know, each general is sort of slightly different. They're not the same individual, of course. And so you can fight them. Like this one looks more like a tiefling, an enormous tiefling of some kind. And once they're defeated, that is. All right, here we go. We have Elektra Zara, the Storm Eater. These can be pretty fun because when they launch their electricity, it can be quite terrible, like this red zone here. It will take out some characters, and they can throw sort of balls of electric lightning that are pretty terrible. Balls of electricity. Looks like we're doing okay against it. Dragon fights can be really tough if you just have, yeah, you see there, it can be very predictable. Like you can't even be sure what it is that just took down like 6 different players. But they all go flying down to the ground when that electricity crackles around. So sometimes it's just really unpredictable. All right, there you go. We got our dragon fight. Pretty neat. Find it. Looks like it's in the center area, so I'll have to rush out past these folks here. This is, look at this huge red area. I don't even know that that's supposed to happen. It may be actually misrepresented. This dragon can be very hard to figure out where the zones are. Like here we can see them, and you can see if I step here, I immediately take a bunch of damage. And so you have to be careful where you're stepping, but it isn't always visible. Like after a while, you might not see the area, but it may still be around. As an archer, I get a little better ability to sort of hide. I'm going to stop attacking just so we can take in how cool this dragon looks. See, really neat looking. Azirax the Caustic has been taken down. So they can go down very quickly when you have a bunch of different players. You get a good number of people here who are fighting it. When there are far fewer, it can be a very long process. But there you get it. And so once we've done a certain number, you know, I think 3 of each type of heroic, 3 dragons, you see the 2 or 3 dragons, and 3 of the others. Then we can come in, we can turn this in for rewards, which are somewhat random. And the idea is we're helping the cause of the fighting off the Cult of the Dragon as they try to attack. So there you have it. That is the what do we call it? The Siege of Neverwinter event, as we fight back the siege, and it lasts 21 days. And if you do it every day, you get that special currency, and you can get some fun things with it. But lore-wise, it's all about the Cult of the Dragon launching attacks across to the city, and we're holding them back here. It can be pretty fun. So if you play Neverwinter, check it. If you like what I do here, please consider supporting my work. I write adventures, I write supplements. Recent work includes the rules for collaborative campaign creation, for which you can see the image on the right-hand side. You can get that for free on alphastream.org by signing up for my mailing list. And you will also receive updates for my blog articles. You can also support me by checking out all these other titles I've written. You can find those on thedmsguild.com. A full list of all my creations, from board games to role-playing games, can be found on alphastream.org. Subscribe and you won't miss any updates for my upcoming projects. Thanks so much.